On the line with us is Senator Sherrod Brown, one of the real good guys. Brown.senate.gov, just reelected as senator from Ohio. Yeah, you can tweet him at S-E-N, Sherrod Brown. Senator Brown, welcome back to the program.
Thom Hartmann, love your show and love how you do it and love how you put current events in the context of history. And if more people in this country did that and fewer watch Fox News, we'd have a way better government. So
thank you, sir. Amen. So Donald Trump, you've got in Lordstown, Ohio, General Motors is closing a factory. This is your state. I know that you have been working rather publicly, actually, for a number of years to try to strengthen General Motors and to work out deals that'll keep jobs in town. And Trump has the temerity to blame this on you? I don't get it.
Well, it was kind of funny because it's like there's a Republican president in this country, a Republican House, a Republican Senate, a Republican Supreme Court, a Republican governor in Ohio, and Trump looked out over the horizon, and the only Democrat he could see in Ohio, I guess, was me, so he thought he'd blame me. But, I mean, I'll put up my record on fighting for workers against Donald Trump's any day. I mean, I voting against NAFTA, or 10 years ago fighting against, or longer than that ago, fighting against this trade policy with China while President Trump, the billionaire developer, was sending jobs overseas for his own businesses. So I will make that contrast anytime on who makes the fight for the middle class, who makes the fight for low-income people, who makes the fight for workers.
Yeah, and he continues to. I mean, we've seen online pictures of Magha hats, or I sometimes call them maggot hats, that have made in China or made in Mexico labels on them. I mean, it's just, it's
important
bizarre.
to point out this sort of phony populism. I mean, of Trump. I mean, real populists are never racist or never anti-Semitic, never push some people down to lift others. Real populists believe in the dignity of work. Real populists fight for people who work hard all their lives. Real populists fight for low-income people. And, you know, the White House, in contrast, the phony populism of the White House looks like a retreat for Wall Street executives, except on the days it looks like a retreat for drug company executives. I mean, it's such a clear contrast. And we've got to take that whole populism label away from Trump, because he clearly is never on the side of you know, he doesn't have the backs. He's not on the side of real people. He doesn't ever have the backs of the public.
Yeah, well, you know, he talks a good line, but that's all he's got. I mean, this guy has been peddling BS for, his entire life. Tell me about the American Cars, American Jobs Act. Yeah,
I talked to Trump last night about this, and I asked him to support it. And here's the problem: if you shut down production, well, the day they laid off 1,500 workers in Lordstown back last summer, the same day GM announced they were building a plant in Mexico to make the Chevy Blazer. One of the reasons for that is if you're paying 21% federal corporate tax if you're making things in Youngstown, you go to Mexico, all of a sudden in taxes you get a 50% off coupon on your taxes. You're only paying 10.5%. So of course these companies are going to. So I said to the president, we've got to get rid of that tax break. It was the president's tax bill that put it in, that 50% off.
Oh, really?
We've got to get rid of that tax break, and we've got to take that money saved from that tax break and put it in the pockets of car buyers that are buying American cars in the United States. It would be $3,500 per car. So you take away the corporate subsidy that ends up in the executives' pockets, and you instead put the money in the pockets of car buyers, and you'd help create more demand, and you'd see more jobs in the United States, and you'd see this plant in Youngstown. You'd see them retool that plant for another car there or another vehicle. And that's why this American Car, American Jobs Act would work. And even the president last night said to me he's for it, but he also said he was for the Patriot Corporation Act and the Working Families Tax Relief Act. So we're going to hold him to it, and we're sending him all the information, and we're going to talk to him about it, but we're going to keep the pressure on.
That's amazing. And you're talking about the GOP tax scam, this giant tax reduction.
Yeah, you think about that. GM got billions of dollars in that tax cut. Then they have the temerity, the CEO, to tell me, well, we can't retool this plant. Well, why? Because they put that money into stock buybacks. So executive compensation. The top 5 executives at GM are making $100 million, but they couldn't keep this plant open. They couldn't retool. She told me it would cost too much to build build the new paint shop because you'd have to raise the ceiling. Well, compared to building a new plant in Mexico, so they just didn't want to spend their hard-earned tax gain. This is again in the context of we saved this industry. President Bush helped. President Obama and the Democrats in Congress saved this industry a decade ago. They get a huge tax cut last year, and now they want to preserve this, move offshore and get a 50% off coupon on their taxes now instead of investing in the United States. And for most people, we've had enough of that.
That's incredible. The great Senator Sherrod Brown, brown.senate.gov, and at Send Sherrod Brown on Twitter. Senator, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks always, Thom. Thanks for
Great talking with you. And keep up the great work.